So, welcome everyone to our Canada Soccer Media call with Desiree Scott ahead of the SheBelieves Cup. Desiree is a CONCACAF champion and a two-time Olympic bronze medalist with Canada Soccer Women's National Team. For the first question, Desiree, I would like to ask you, how important is this camp right now for Canada Soccer Women's National Team?
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here virtually to see you guys all. It's just such a thrill to be back together on grass in a wonderful sunny location. It's been almost a year since this team has been able to connect thanks to COVID and different restrictions keeping us apart. So just the sheer fact that we can be together with our Canada Soccer family is huge. I think it's a super important year with the Olympics coming up, and we're starting it off with a fantastic, challenging tournament in the SheBelieves Cup. So every time that we can get together is precious, and it all starts here for a big year to come.
Thank you, Desiree. First question, Neil.
Thanks, Vanessa, and Desiree, thank you for taking the time to speak to us today. As you mentioned, this is a challenging tournament, and you have a challenging opponent right out of the gate with the United States. What do you think about that game as a measuring stick for the team, considering the inactivity? And also, what's the mentality when you go up against such a talented team like the Americans, given Canada's track record against them?
Yeah, I mean, what a way to start the year off after not being together for a year. You know, we can come into this camp and make a ton of excuses and look at it that way. But for us, it's about the opportunity that we have ahead of us. I think you're playing the number one team. Anytime we play them, it's always a gritty battle. So we're just looking forward to using that as a measuring stick, as you've said, to gauge where we're at after not being together for a year, but also just looking at it as an opportunity to shine, see where we're at, show what we've got, and really build on that through the rest of the tournament. So a great opponent to start off the gate, a challenging game, and it'll really just be a test for us to see where we're at currently.
Thank you. Derek?
Hi, Desiree. I hope you're enjoying the Florida sun because it's minus 28 in Winnipeg today. So it's minus 25 here in Edmonton. So
I left at the perfect time, that's for sure.
Exactly. I want to ask you about the evolution of this team. I know when you came in, you were one of the younger players and there were some veterans going out. Now it looks like there's some younger players and you're the group of the veterans that are trying to lead this group. Is it a different mix than maybe it was 4 years ago at the Olympics?
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say, like a new year, a new blend. We've got our core group, like you said, but it's changed even from 4 years ago. We've got a lot of younger players that are coming from the youth teams, from college clubs, from the NWSL, who are getting their first look in with the national team. So they're trying to bring that freshness. Also, we've got a new coaching staff as well. So they're trying to maybe bring in some different players and add some different spice to what's been here before. So yeah, it's a new blend, but obviously that core group is still here with that experience through one Olympics. So yeah, it's going to be a building year, but again, keeping what we've been successful with over the last 4 year cycle.
Thanks, Des.
Thank you. Signe?
Hey, Desiree. First, kind of a maybe two-part question. First, I wanted to know how you're personally feeling at camp. I know you've been off for a while. We haven't had the chance to see you this season. And how did you keep your game level fitness, or have you, during this time off the last 11 months?
Yeah, great question. It was funny. Our first team meeting, I walked in and I had to miss the Challenge Cup with NWSL due to family commitments, missed the fall series. So it's really been a long time coming to get on a field with other people. So the first team meeting, we walked in and I just kind of got teary-eyed because I've really missed being in the environment and in that team aspect of things. So yeah, I've been in Winnipeg. Thank goodness for our strength trainer says he's given me a program that has adapted to the snow, being on my own in my basement, invested in a treadmill and dumbbells. And he's kind of just adapted my program to that, ball work off a wall in my basement. So I was a bit nervous coming into camp to see where I'm at, gauge, nothing can replicate being on the field. But I've been good so far. I'm still standing. And I think just allowing the fact that I've missed so much to really fuel me to get through this camp and take every day and moment as it comes with in stride and really just enjoy being back in the environment.
Thanks.
Thank you. Sandra?
Thanks, Vanessa. Hey, Desiree, thanks for the time. And you've touched on this a little bit. So you basically know what to expect from the US, likely the same from Brazil. But how do you prepare for a team like Argentina? What do you know about them?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to sort of, luckily we come into training camps and they provide us with sort of a little packet of our opponents to come in. So we do a little homework prior to coming into camp. And then I think we just, again, focus on what we can do. The Argentinians, you kind of think they're going to be skillful on the ball. You sort of make those assumptions, but again, focusing on what we can bring on field and then adapting it to the potential of what they can possibly do on field. So I'm thinking technical, strong defensively, and they'll be tricky. So we kind of maybe group them into like a Brazil or a similar style team. But again, you never know until you get out on that pitch. So doing as much homework and preparation as we can beforehand.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, hi, Desiree. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us. The game on February 24th against Brazil marks 11 years to the exact date of your senior team debut. You know, when you look back at the 11 years, so it's been 11 years. There's obviously a number of newcomers in this camp right now who are looking to make their national team debut. So looking back at the last 11 years and when you sort of debuted against, the Switzerland, I'm just wondering what advice would you give these youngsters who are trying to crack the national team for the first time? What would you say to them?
That's a fun fact. I didn't realize that. So Thanks for pointing that out. Wow, a decade or more on the team. It's crazy. I think what I've learned and what I have told some of the young ones is one, to just enjoy every moment you have wearing that Canada crest on your chest and don't take it for granted. But I also talk about that enjoyment piece. Coming into your first camp, there's a lot of stress. You want to perform. You're playing with some of the GOATs and the big names that you've watched on TV, perhaps. And I think just remembering to enjoy the process and know it's not going to be perfect, but then just being them and being them wholeheartedly through the camp, just trusting that they're here for a reason and to bring that every day.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Har.
Hi, Desiree. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us this morning. With this being Bev's first camp with the national team as head coach, I'm wondering what kind of changes or tinkerings or even learnings is she kind of implementing or putting her stamp on with the team? Thank you.
Yeah, I think, we've got about a week in camp with her so far, and it's been nice to just, again, be on the grass and sort of just get touches again and see what the vibe of the coaching staff will be. I think she took a lot from her experience with England, and she's going to just sort of trickle that into the base and sort of solid foundation that we have here. I think a lot of little tinkerings with formation will happen, little small adjustments. I don't think she's going to come in and overhaul everything, but she's just given us new ways to think about some of the small tactical things that we've already been doing, allowing us to get a lot of more competitiveness within training sessions. I think nothing is given. You've got to earn that. And I think she's really pushing that aspect in training, which I think is really nice because we have been on the team for a long time. For us veteran players, it's like just pushing every day in training that competitive side, which I think has been really great.
Thank you. Next, Ashley.
Hi, Desiree. Yes, so Team Canada has not played a game together in almost a year. How do you feel the team is shaping and adjusting to the international level going into the SheBelieves Cup?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way dodging around that. We haven't been together. So there's obviously first couple of days, there's some rust, new team, new staff. There's a lot of sort of growing pains in the beginning of a training session. But luckily, a lot of people had been with their clubs and not just sitting doing nothing. So there's still, that base fitness there, that desire to be back. And I think all of us are just wanting to build on that connection and rebuild those bonds on field, off field. So definitely some work to do, but I think not having been together for so long, it's really just wanting us to accelerate in camp and make sure we're getting the most out of every minute we're on the pitch together.
Thank you. Dan?
Thanks, Vanessa. Hello, Desiree. Just a question, really. We've mentioned about players and the squad being at different levels. Obviously, Canada as a nation haven't played for a long time. The US players, some of them are just coming back to fitness. Obviously, there's some players playing in England, you look at like Jessie Fleming and Janine Becky, they've been playing at a really competitive level for the last kind of 6 months. How much of a benefit is it, particularly from those two players, to have players on the top form coming into the team? And also, how much do you think the English competition has improved, since you had that spell with Notts County?
Yeah, I mean, the Jessie Flemings and Janines playing in a competitive environment is just so key for some of us who maybe haven't been, to come in and just sort of infuse the environment with that quality, and that intention in training sessions will really help, just to raise the level of the overall group. You'll be able to tell on the field how sharp they are, and hopefully that just sort of treads throughout the whole entire squad. So I think it's great to have that. It'll hopefully infuse the group. And that league, I kind of went before it was cool to go to England, and you've just seen how much it's grown. The gap is closing between each team. The players that they're recruiting to come there are of top notch and top level. So it's completely grown bounds from when I have been there, and it was competitive when I went. So it's amazing to see the league improve and the players they're drawing to this England league.
Thanks, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. Sean?
Hey, Desi, this is Sean Guzman with Kansas City Star. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you doing this. Obviously, you've got yourself and Diana Matheson, both with Canada. You got Mariana Larroquette with Argentina too. So just a two-part question. Firstly, the importance of having international stars representing a new team to the NWSL. And you said you got little packets about the opposition. Have you heard anything about Mariana yet as an opposition instead of a teammate?
Yeah, no, good questions. Yeah, I actually haven't been into Kansas City yet. I came straight from Canada into camp, so I haven't been able to meet her personally. And we're not fully into that part of prep work for Argentina as of yet, so I haven't heard any inside scoop. But assuming she'll be, tricky and tough opposition. But yeah, in terms of having, those international stars on a new team, I think it helps to pull in and draw fans. Having been in Kansas City before, it's like I'm coming full circle, coming back home. So I'm really excited about that. And hopefully we can just sort of start new and fresh and build on the foundation that was there in KC, but then sort of evolve it. We are a new team and there's a lot of new players coming as well. So hopefully the old fans will come back and we'll be able to draw some new ones with what we do in the 2021 season.
Thank you. Joey, CTV.
Hi, Desiree. Thanks for doing this. I'm just going to shift away from competition for a second and talk about growth of the game. Here in Winnipeg, there's been a bit of a surge. There's well over a dozen female soccer players that are heading to play university soccer in the fall across North America. Even with the men, I don't know what the number would be at combined, but I just want to know for you growing up here, playing here, what that means to you to see the success of the game or of the players here, and how much the game has grown and what that means to you and the role you hope you play in this.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said any camps I do back in Winnipeg or any athletes that I speak to, I always talk about being the lone Manitoban and how I always want more and more to come from our province. And that stat is fantastic to see people are getting opportunities beyond, club to go and play and get a scholarship at a university or college. And I think when I first began, you didn't know sort of those opportunities that were available to you. It was sort of few and far between. So it's incredible to see the growth and the passion that the city of Winnipeg is really pushing in their athletes. I hope that I can be an inspiration to Manitoban, both male and female soccer players, to know that through hard work, dedication, and a passion of what you're doing, that the sky's the limit, whether that's to play for your country or even just to play for a university. So I'm hoping I'm inspiring in that sense, to help build up the future athletes and just to see the people that are getting behind Valor FC and the different academies that are growing in the province. I think we're making strides and hopefully we continue to go on that continuum in a positive direction.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any follow-up question, Neil?
Yes, thank you, Vanessa. Desiree, as you well know, every coach is different. John Herdman was like a high wattage bulb burning. Kennett was a bit drier, and you know better than I. Can you give us a sense of the early vibe with Bev as coach?
Yeah, I'm all about the vibe. So that's a good question. I think Bev is bringing a bit of both. I think she is able to speak up, inspire the group, but she's also sort of a player's coach as well. She allows us to, like, at meals times, to just chat and sort of brings that sort of family vibe as well. So I think she gives a good blend. I think you can never compare any coach to John, but she motivates in her own way, in that she just brings that competitive edge to every little drill that we do, whether it's a rondo or a passing pattern. So I love that about her. But then she's got that calmness to sort of trust in her players that we're going to do the job on the day. And yeah, so cat's still out on the overall vibe, but so far things have been really great.
If a quick follow-up, if I may, what's it like having a 34-year-old head coach?
I didn't even know her age, to be fair. Doesn't matter to me. I think we all respect who's coming in as a head coach, and we respect what they have to do, and we'll give our all for whoever's, you know, leading the charge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Derek, any follow-up question?
Yeah, just a quick one. I guess on facing the United States, this is such a rivalry between the two of you. In this game, even though it's been a while since you guys have played, can you just give me a sense of what are you guys expecting going into this game? Is it still going to be the same kind of intensity that it always is when you face the United States?
Yeah, I think regardless of circumstance and what this past year has brought, anytime you get on the field with Canada, US, it's going to be a battle. And that doesn't change. We obviously want to go in there, and we're not going in like, oh, we haven't been together for a year, so it's okay to let things slide, and we're not going to compete. We go out there every day to win a match, no matter the opposition. So I think we're excited to get on the field. We're ready for the challenge, and we're excited for the challenge. And again, we're going to bring our all, no matter who steps on that pitch and what opposition is there in front of us.
Thank you. Signa?
Sure. Thanks, Vanessa. I know, without giving away state secrets, Des, I know that Bev has talked about putting in those small changes in terms of tactics and philosophy, and maybe fooling around with your formation a little bit. But could you tell us maybe 1 to 2 things that you guys are hoping to execute during the SheBelieves Cup? Because of course, this is basically an Olympic practice round for you guys.
Totally. In a tournament setting, you know, we're trying to mimic what the Olympics could look like in terms of, you know, tactics, roster, rotations, all of those things. A couple things that we're really trying to hone in on would be the ruthlessness in front of goal. I think Canada as a whole, we always want to score more goals and be more ruthless. So how we can build and grow on that to score more goals and capitalize on our opportunities in front of net. And then we talk about the defensive side. It's kind of basic, but again, being ruthless defensively. You know, we're playing top opposition who tends to score on us. So we're talking, how can we make little tweaks to really just be unforgiving in the box and not allow teams to get crosses in, shots in, and how we can adapt to those aspects of the game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Yes, please. Yeah, Desiree, just back to the 11th anniversary thing. You know, when you look back on your time with the national team, how do you reflect upon it? Because it is, you know, more than 10 years of consistent and, you know, first team football, and especially with the style you play, very physical player. So I'm just wondering how you reflect back on your career with the national team thus far. What's been the key to your sort of staying power, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, later in your life, as your career is sort of, you know, winding down, you take more time to reflect on where you've been, what you've done. And I just have immense feelings of gratefulness to still be here after that long. And I think it speaks to what this team is and who they've become. My family, you know, they've been my life, this team. And so it's just a joy to be here. And I think I'm just grateful each time I'm getting called into camp. Our medical staff has been fantastic, knock on wood, like injury free, keeping me fit and strong and adapting to sort of the player that I am and who I've become over the years. They kind of understand who I am, what I need off field to keep me going on field. And again, just that renewed sense of passion each time I come into camp, I think has allowed me to want to continue to grow and remain on this squad and have a positive impact as I am here.
Great. Thank you. And good luck at the tournament.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Har, any follow-up questions?
Yes, I do have a follow-up. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Desiree, when you were with Kansas City, there was a coach, Vlatko Andonovski, there as well. I'm wondering if you could kind of tell us or share with us maybe what he was like as a coach, in-game changes or in-game personality that he had, and how he's kind of evolved. Now he's the U.S. national team coach. Thank you, and good luck at the tournament.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the pleasure of being coached by Vlatko, one of my top all-time favorite coaches. He is just a coach that allows you to be so confident playing underneath him. He allows you to bring your own individual identity and be free within the environment. He obviously is tactically sound. He knows what he's talking about football wise, but then just encourages you to go out and be you. And I could say that I was probably one of the most confident, best seasons I've had was playing under Vlatko. So he just has a way of connecting with his players, and he's a coach you really want to play and fight for. So I'm mad that he's with the opposition and the USA, but they've got a great coach in him for sure.
Thank you. Dan?
Yeah, I was just going to kind of build on, we've already discussed Jessie Fleming, but, I think at such a young age, she's got 77 caps. I think she's been in the squad since she was 15 years old. Just what is so special about Jessie? And I suppose everybody wants to get as many caps as Sinclair, but do you think she could actually do it?
I never cease to be amazed by Jessie with what she can do on the field with a soccer ball. I think she did come in as a little baby, 15 years old, and she impressed from the get-go. Her technical ability is incredible, and I'm just so happy she's in our midfield. I think she just brings a confidence, a quiet confidence that she does things that you're just like, holy smokes, you're amazed by. And at such a young age to come into this environment, which isn't easy, and to play the way she has with that confidence and just to be a steadfast sort of starter for us is fantastic. I think that many caps so early on, the sky's the limit for Jessie, and we've only just began to tap in to what she can do and what she can bring. And I'm just so happy she's on our team for sure. She's going to be a legend.
Thanks. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. Sean?
Yeah, real quick, Desi, just going back to Diana. Can you just tell me a little bit about the relationship you two have? Obviously played together for the last couple of years, and just, she didn't play in Kansas City last time round. So just what fans can expect from her of you guys in midfield?
Yeah, we call ourselves the Double Ds, a little duo in the midfield. Obviously a fantastic friend of mine. I've grown and known her for the last 10 plus years. So obviously just an amazing human being. On field, Diana is just a strong-willed, tactically sound, technical player. And I think she'll bring that fight each and every game. She loves to get forward in the attack and score those goals, and I'll be her biggest hype woman behind her, making sure I get her the ball. So we've got that relationship on field where we know where each other is. We're able to communicate to each other what we need, and that partnership has really grown over the years playing for club and country together. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. Last question for you, Desi. What has impressed you so far in the camp, and how have you enjoyed being back with the team?
I've loved being back. This has been a long time coming for me, so I'm taking every day just with a huge smile on my face. The sunshine doesn't help that mood. But yeah, I think I've just been impressed with how our mindset of the players coming in. We could have a lot of excuses for how we're playing or different things what the past year has thrown us, but the mindset to just get after it, get in, and just really looking forward to making strides with each other and building on our connections again. So that mindset, and I just love the competitiveness that everyone's bringing. Everything that we do on field has raised a level, which has been a bit different before. You kind of go through the rolls and the punches as you get beginning, but it's been really competitive from the get-go, and I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with this group.
Thank you. This concludes our Canada Soccer Media call. Thank you everyone for your time and interest. And Desiree, we wish you all the best in your preparation with the team ahead of what will be an exciting year that will include the Olympics Games.
Thank you.